the real witchcraft of this world is the things that we think that are just the way they are because of that's just how it is in the world, when that's the biggest lie ever told. The real witchcraft is the fact that a nation or a group of people have been able to create a system to keep some of the strongest people on this planet locked down as slaves, keep them in the lowest state possible, keep them in the lowest position. That is real witchcraft. What they did is that once we taught them everything as far as learning how to talk, learning how to bathe themselves, learning how to do certain things to function properly, they basically, and then we started teaching them the sciences and how to build structures and all the stuff, the ancient knowledge, the ancient quote-unquote forbidden knowledge that we knew as gods on earth, and we taught them all this stuff. And then they basically took everything that we taught them and turned it into their stuff. And they put us in that position of a lower estate, and that was part of our fall, that was part of our mistake. But they still had the advantage because we had told them all of our secrets, all of our ancient knowledge, everything that we knew as the natural beings on the earth. And then everything else after that, this whole language that we speak, it's a part of spell crafting. It's a part of building a spell to keep the walking gods on the earth asleep, which is melanated beings, even from the language down to how everything works. You have to keep checking into the matrix. You have to keep paying bills as a reminder that you are plugged into this slavehood. The slavery is all mental now, and it's reinforced by the languages that the words that we use, and the language that we speak. There's something called melanin that in melanin essentially does not exist. Melanin is just carbon in your skin and your cells. That's what makes you black. That's what makes you a human. It gives you your hue, your color. Carbon, melanin itself does not exist, but they use that word. But then it's interesting because subconsciously and phonetically, there's also this other thing called melatonin, which keeps you asleep. People take melatonin when they want to usher in sleep, when they want to get a good night's rest, when they want to stay asleep. What do they use? Melatonin. It's a hormone that regulates sleep and patterns of sleep. So they phonetically and subconsciously have embedded into the language elements, make-believe elements that make you who you are. And they linked that. So phonetically it sounds like it's the same thing, but it's not. Melanin, melatonin. They want to keep the melanated beings asleep. And they do that through programming. They do it through television. They do it through subconscious and subliminal messages in media. They're doing it through this technology that can upload and download data from your mind, from your DNA structure. They're doing it in sports. They're doing it in food and in drink. And if we don't take our alchemy back, if we don't activate and come online in this time, we are going to be forever subjected to this witchcraft system. Everything that you knew of, the worship of the guidance and the acknowledgement of your ancestors and keeping them a part of your life, they took that and said that it was evil. Your so-called African religions are evil. Really? When that's the same alchemy they use now? And then they want the only thing that they want you to, the only ancestor that they want to say is okay to acknowledge is Christ. Oh, you can eat the body of Jesus Christ. You can drink the blood of Jesus Christ. But any other ancestor acknowledgement, that's of the devil. That's worshiping the devil. That's bad. Any other deified person that made it to a certain level of consciousness, oh, you can't learn from them. You can't so-called quote-unquote worship them, because then that would be a form of idolatry. That's the true witchcraft of the world, is that. And then on top of it, we want to find consolation in something that is never ours. It's a redacted version of what was ours. It's not the real deal. Holyfield. It's giving you a partial truth, and that is nothing different than any other form of witchcraft. And you know, you best believe they sitting up in their secret lodges, their secret Masonic temples, and studying you top and down bottom, left and right, from the beginning to the end. And then they want to loop you into this matrix of only staying within the Bible because everything's witchcraft. Get out of here with that mess. It's time to stop lying to ourselves. It's time to wake up a little bit more. And there's an awakening that is supposed to be taking place right now. We are supposed to be working to fulfill the higher calling and working to reach these greater works that we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be exhibiting greater works. We're supposed to be healing the sick, raising the dead, walking through walls, walking on water, doing what we need to do. And I bet you, if you still here when stuff really hits the fan, you're gonna have to be able to do that stuff. Okay, because they're gonna have all sorts of technology that's gonna be able to see what you're doing. They're gonna have all sorts of technology. You won't be able to hide if you don't have some special skills or some knowledge about some stuff, because they're gonna be using stuff that can come in your house. Nanobots. If anybody's seen the movie Minority Report, go rewatch that. And that's a movie that's showing you how nanotechnology is used to access information and data from human beings. It's a perfect movie to go back and rewatch right now, because it'll show you the things that are to come, basically. And if you get in the position where you're not going to take a vaccine, or you've made your mind up about certain things and you know you're not going to do certain things, and they're going to be coming to make you do certain things, you're going to have some extra skills, because it's not just going to be human might at that point. There's going to be some real technical things taking place, and you're going to have some extra gifts. You're going to have to be able to run as fast as Superman and walk through water and walls and all that stuff. You're going to have to. The inorganic enemies that I'm speaking on, that are masters of witchcraft, they're master wizards and wizardry. They have mastered this level of knowledge and understanding, and that's why they're attacking DNA. That's why they want to rewrite and access change DNA and RNA, is because that's where the codes of your ancestors are. The memories, the epigenetic memories that have been passed down are in there, and the DNA is what's going to have to be excavated in this new age of Aquarius and activated. And along with activation comes with different abilities, different gifts that we have to bring online. So, I mean, it's just like if your computer was infected with a virus, is it still going to operate and function at the fullest capacity? Just imagine if a sophisticated virus took on the same stance. That virus has its own set of instructions to follow and deploy. These instructions from the computer virus can block you from opening your web browser, like Google Chrome, in order for you to access information. Without the ability to retrieve data from the internet, you have limited ability to extract the data you would normally have access to if you did not have the virus deploying in your computer system or in your system, period. So our bodies are a cosmic technology too. We operate similar to a computer. There are gifts and abilities you have embedded in you that needs to be downloaded and to be installed, okay, into your mental hard drive. If you lose this ability, you will not be able to be compatible on the new earth. It may be so deep into your system repository that you will have to meditate daily for some time. You must dig deep inside of yourself and find out what lies dormant in your DNA. Some people will unlock new means of communication, gifts like telepathy, telekinesis, being able to touch an element and like water and metal and download information and data from that metal, or even change the molecular structures of things by interpreting the vibration and the frequency, just like a computer process codes. Others will discover how to change the molecular structures of solids like walls and bricks and be able to walk through them or even move up and down on them. Other people will once again walk on water by changing the atomic molecular structures of its particles, turning it into a solid structure. Someone else may be able to unlock the power of alchemy to the point where they can break harmful elements down, such as guns and bullets and bullet powder and active bombs, by simply using their natural hands. This is why we have to come online and to raise our frequency to the 5D level. In this astral realm, the realm of the spirit, we can compute to things that we would typically dream, and they will be possible in this realm. Once these ancient abilities that are lying dormant in our DNA are waiting to be activated, once they are, we can begin exhibiting these gifts. Whatever gifts that you already have waiting to be installed are for you. Many people may begin to manifest the original language in which we spoke when everyone was on the same accord before the fall. This can very well be the initial gift that people will manifest, but why? This ancient original language expresses the 3D earth stuff that the 3D earth, this language we speak now, can't even fathom. Okay? So try to speak in your ancient language. Try to recapture that. You want to forget about certain things because people have put a stamp of stigma on top of it. We want to forget about tongues and certain things like that because we think it's a Christian thing or a Pentecostal thing or something. Speak in your ancient language. Try to unearth stuff. Those words can activate stuff in a whole nother vibrational frequency that you can't even imagine in your natural mind. Elio moko shaka no moria kia. Elio moshiyaka no moria nia kia shaka moria na ya kia nama. Elio moria na ya kia shikina mona. Eke kako moko na shaka na moria na shikina. Ele moria na ya kia na shikina na moria na ya kina. Ele moria na ya kia shikina na moria na ya kia shikina. You don't know what gifts you have in your DNA. Dig deep, meditate, and with that, I say shalom.